welcome back to the Edge of Huh. Today we are going back into the wonderful world of Vita Carnis from Darian Killoy. We are going to be watching the Living Meat Research Documentary 5, Harvesters, Host of Influence and Monoliths. I don't know if this next one, which is the full footage of it, is actually going to add anything. We might skip over that. And then we're probably going to go into cheese crawl, penne, cook along, cook at home kitchen. And then we might top it off with Guide to Owning a Pet Trimming. And maybe we'll see how we're feeling from there. Right now, I'm like, I don't like the aspect of food. Even right now, the back of my throat got that little bit of numbness of wanting to, like, I want to hurl. Once again, we have all these fun warnings. I love how death is also a thing because you got to give me that warning after the mimic.
The Harvester.
Come on, give me the Harvester.
The Harvester is a large, bulbous mass, with a large amount of tendrils spreading from the base. The bulb measures around 3 meters in height and 2 meters in diameter. The tendrils, on the other hand, can extend up to 150 meters in diameter horizontally.
Oh, that's
The Harvester is
so
a
lengthy.
specialized form of crawl that grows in a unique and deadly way. A harvester is created when a node that will grow into a harvester, instead of separating, continues to grow. Eventually, it will grow tendrils of its own.
Interesting.
It uses the energy provided by its mother branch and expands its reach further. Its tendrils, hidden just below the surface of the ground.
So it's a tree
The harvester is
planting its
equipped with
roots.
2 types of specialized tendrils. The first type is bulky and flat.
Oh
They
god,
lie
that's
the closest
horrifying.
to the surface. These branches are lined on each length of the tendril with
I'm gonna pause that right there because it's bad enough you gotta worry about random gopher holes in a field. Could you imagine your foot goes into a gopher hole and just ah! I feel like it's a Venus flytrap of where the spines there will around whatever it gets caught into it and it will start to digest it. This is also giving me alien explodey bombs in a lot of alien shooter games. You know which ones I'm talking about. It also is giving me flood vibes from Halo.
spines, extending in the shape of a bear trap. On each side of the branch,
Oh, it is a
those
trap.
particular spines have a vein that feed into them,
It
that
is.
pump 2 types of venom. On one side, the spines can inject a neurotoxin, which will attack the nervous system of whomever it is injected into, causing sudden paralysis.
I'm too freaking
The other
big brain.
side
I
can
knew it
inject
was
an
coming.
anticoagulant, which when injected, prevents blood cells from clotting. Whenever
I
a
saw
large
it
animal
coming,
moves
dude.
across the area armed with these tendrils, the branches will clamp onto the animal and thrash violently. Once the prey has been injected with both venoms, the
So not only does it latch on, it'll also, because it's not taut, it's not tight, it is actually a loose bit of vine and tendril that if they try to pull back, the vine itself is going up with it to be like, nah, you're not going to be able to like rip free because it's no matter what, it's getting you.
tendrils will rest and the prey will immediately collapse.
That's effed up.
The animal will be unable to move due to the paralysis, and the wounds caused by the thrashing spines will not stop bleeding. All the prey can do is lie patiently, until succumbing to blood loss. Once the prey has bled
not a
out,
good way to go
the
out.
second type of tendrils come in. They lie below the spine equipped once. These branches are thick, but very sturdy. They share similar anatomy to the small branches of the crawl, equipped with organelle that absorbs nutrients. These tendrils sense the blood, and move their way to the surface and begin to absorb the vital fluid. Once the blood has been consumed, the tendrils will wrap around the body and begin to shuffle downwards. This movement loosens the soil and slowly pull the body underground. Once secure, the tendrils will continue to feed until there is nothing but scraps.
Can you imagine just going for a lovely walk in a forest and you see that thing? Because now you got to be on high alert of, hey, I remember what they've warned me about. I got to pay attention so I don't get pulled into the ground. And could you imagine just seeing a dead deer just slowly being vacuumed into the ground? That is...
The nourishment absorbed by
Burn
the
it all.
tendrils will be sucked back into the main bulb of the harvester. This bulb houses all the vital organs and the venom glands that pump into the spines.
Just shoot it, see
The
if it
nutrients
explodes.
are then converted into usable energy.
It's probably got a
The
thick
remains
hide.
underground decompose, providing a rich soil, causing very prominent plant growth, which then attracts more animals.
So it's a never-ending
A strange behavior
cycle.
a harvester displays as its choice of diet. The spines will only activate on larger animals, allowing smaller ones to pass by unaffected. The spines will also not
Probably 'cause
activate
they
on
don't get
some
as much
species of bird.
nutrients?
There are a couple theories as to why this happens.
I theorize that it's because bigger animals provide bigger nutrients over longer periods of times, whereas smaller animals like squirrels, rabbits, and various other types of rodents that you'll find in the forest probably aren't going to feed it and actually give it a satisfying hunger for as long as it needs. Birds, again, same thing of way too small to actually provide the nutrients required by this thing. But let's see what it says.
1. It could be that attacking smaller animals would cost too much energy for what they get in return, making it not
Exactly.
worth the time.
what I said.
Could be that smaller animals may attract larger animals or predators, allowing a safe place where prey may thrive and lure more predators. It truly is astonishing.
That would be a good cycle, too.
Although it is a spectacular
But you have a
creature, it
symbiosis
is also very
relationship.
dangerous. The harvester is decently rare, only populating sparse areas in the northern hemisphere and woodland forests.
So you go farther south and they're
If you are
not
stunned by a
easily
harvester,
seen.
there will be no way of helping you, being that there is no cure, and fatality is 100% positive.
Bro, what?
The best thing you can do is avoid encountering a harvester in the first place. If you are hiking, take note of any warnings or signs saying that there are harvesters around.
I like
If
that.
you also notice an abundance of lush, ground-dwelling plants in a forested area, and there are no signs of wildlife, this is suspicious and you should leave the area, staying close to the base of large trees or rocks. If you find yourself in the middle of a harvester ground, do not panic. Sudden movements may activate the tendrils and will inject you. Although a harvester is rather forgiving, do not risk any skittish movements. Remain calm. If you have any objects with considerable heft, like coats, backpacks, or full water bottles, gently take that object and lightly toss it towards the bulb, and away from your escape route. This will activate the spines on where the object lands, distracting the bulb for a moment. You will then slowly
That's a good
begin to do
tactic.
wide shuffles away from the bulb. If possible, throw another object when you are certain you are a fair enough distance away, just to be safe. Continue until you are completely sure you are out of harm's way.
Until you're completely naked.
You may come out unscathed, but don't be too obnoxious, or you will be a harvester's next meal.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Next up is the host.
I don't like that. Interesting. Interesting that this is an entity that you can't intellectually. It's actually pretty freaking brilliant. It's got a good symbiosis type relationship with other or smaller animals. When it comes to people, you can get away from it mainly just by distracting it. It is one of those things in a game where if you cause noise, it's going to react to the noise over there. It is essentially a blind creature, and it only really reacts to heavy vibrations and sound. So, really, if you see a sign saying harvesters possibly around this area, just don't go in. Or, if you have someone you don't like anymore... I'm just kidding, don't do that. We're going to go on to the next one, though. Just like the last time, we're going to try... I just had a lot of thoughts I wanted to get off about
The
that.
host of influence.
But we're going to just, with the playlist,
The
just...
host of influence, more
Video after
commonly
video.
referred to as the host, has its name derived from a host who invites guests to an event. Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease.
Okay.
The host is a semi-humanoid looking organism.
It's
It
like a
has the
creature I would
structure
fight
of a
in
head,
D&D or
torso,
a fantasy
and arms.
RPG.
Other than this, it shares no other characteristics.
Okay.
The lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissue and tendrils that burrow into the ground to hold the host in place.
Looks like something you would find
Instead
in
of
Remnant,
skin,
actually.
The host is covered in muscular tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. In some parts of the body
so it
are
does
covered in a
move.
meaty plate, used to cover any large exposed areas, but allowing movement. The host's head has a smooth surface where the face should be, attached to a crooked neck, which houses a slit in the front used for feeding. On the host's back is a mound of pores. Protruding from these pores are hollow, hair-like structures, extending outwards. These hairs are barrels that release spores produced within host's body by being fired into the air. These spores are hazardous, so keep clear of them at all costs.
I was about to ask.
Luckily, the host is rare, only found in North America.
I guess
Obtaining
we're going
info about
east,
the host
baby.
is a very risky and daunting task. This is because of their rarity and of how dangerous it is to be up close to one.
Just hire the guys from National Geographic, because they seem to be capturing every freaking thing from a pretty safe distance. You hire all those photographers, you hire those videographers, we're gonna know every freaking habit of this host of influence. Again, this sounds like something you would find in a fantasy RPG game, and I'm so freaking here for it.
The spores released by a host is very dangerous when inhaled. A host will release a cloud of spores into the air, which will be picked up by wind and carried great distances. If an organism inhales the spores, the particles will find their way into the organism's brain and infect them.
Oh,
An infected organism will show no symptoms of infection right away, but a couple hours after infection the infected organism's behavior and thought process will change. The first symptoms that appear are
So it's like brainwashing.
restlessness, sluggish movement, numbness of joints, and lack of coordination. Then more serious symptoms appear over time. These include dizziness, migraines, impaired speech, and trembles.
It's like you're being turned into a zombie. What the
show these
heck?
symptoms, contact poison control or emergency services.
Is there an actual
After
cure
a
for
total
it?
of 6 to 7 hours after infection, the organism will cease all activities they were previously doing and begin to walk. The direction the infected will walk is towards the host whose
It
spores
is
have
like
been inhaled by the
brainwashing.
infected
Holy
individual.
crap!
the
No
infected
way.
Makes their way to the host. They will kneel down in front of it, expose their vital organs, and the host will promptly gut and remove those organs.
Bro, what? So it is literally the ultimate organism to infect and get food and sustenance. It just has to wait. It is a patient hunter. It is a patient, deadly creature because it will infect you and it knows you're coming back because its spores will actually brainwash and take over your body to be like, you need to return. It is like those possession movies of where it's like, come to me, come to me, come to me. And it's just, you're literally going, well, rip open shirt, here I am. That is so messed up. It is a good way, this sounds bad, you could gain a lot of research by taking less than reputable people, aka those that, you know, are sadistic and psychotic, and that are absolutely horrible. I know that certain states have the death penalty. Now I know where you're going with it. Let's just continue with the video. You know where I'm going with this. This is how we get research done. I'm sounding American, aren't
However,
I?
if an infected organism doesn't reach the host within a 36-hour span or is treated for their infection, the effects will wear off and return back to normal.
So there is actually a way to get free of that.
If the host
Okay.
is unable to find prey or doesn't like its current location, it will unroot itself and move to a new location.
Oh, I don't like that.
Their
Just
scarce
seeing
numbers
that.
and the hazard of being
Just-
around one makes getting info about the host very daunting. All you need to currently know is that the host is extremely dangerous and should be avoided at all costs.
Of course. How fast can it move, though? Because if it spots prey,
Next, the monoliths.
how quickly can you get away from it? Don't know how I'm going to feel about the monoliths. Now, what are these monoliths going to bring to the table? How big do they get? What kind of threat do they pose? We have so many questions that need
monoliths.
answers. We need answers, man.
The monolith is a very new creature, only showing up in June of 1972, in the area of... There are only
Now, you need to
7
tell me.
monoliths, all of them located in a
7.
circular position, 1.5 kilometers in diameter. This ring of monoliths
Interesting.
surround...
Why can't you tell us? That means we get to avoid
The
them.
monolith is a Titanic-sized being, measuring roughly 120 meters in height. Each monolith has 2 trunk legs that are firmly embedded underground. The legs connect to a torso.
That's freaking huge!
The creature itself is made of hundreds of thousands of meaty strands, tightly woven together to form the structure.
Okay, Aaron
These strands
Yeager,
end at
calm
the
down,
neck,
dude.
fusing into a solid mass of hardened flesh in the shape of an upside-down triangle, with a hole in its center. On each side of the monolith where arms would be, there are dozens of long, rope-like appendages. These reach just barely to the ground. At the creature's feet, the strands go deep into the earth and extend horizontally a decent distance away.
Did you guys dig to
What the
find out?
monoliths
How do
do
you
is
know
simply
that?
stand and do nothing. The only activity documented that the monoliths have done was in
Guess we have one right there and one right there. I want to know what's
during this
redacted.
period, they were extremely aggressive. When the group of were making their way to the city, the monolith that they had passes roared a deep bellow and swung its appendages at the team, completely wiping them out.
Holy
When
crap.
military vehicles were dispatched, once they got close enough top the monolith, it roared another call, this time releasing an EMP blast, completely knocking the vehicles out in the vicinity. Finally, long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature.
And what happened then? Oh, please have actual footage. I would love to see. Is that the roar?
Although damaged, it regenerated at great speed and resumed its stance unscathed.
Oh, man.
Eventually, the area has been fenced off and is now restricted to all.
Good.
Ever since, the monolith stands silently, now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more questions to these meat beings. And finally, the last creature on this list is marvelous and majestic world that exists today. It's as extraordinary
Did it just
to have
redact
such
what the last
strange and
creature is?
mysterious beings appear all around.
No, it showed a sphere, showed the Earth, and now it's talking about life. Is it saying that the Earth is the ultimate Vita Carnis creature? That's my theory.
Found us. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery of the lives of these living meat creatures.
Yeah, okay. Sure. So I decided to click on the full documentary video because I was like, all right, is there going to talk about the ending? And I had to backtrack because I clicked all the way to the very end because there's something called singularity?
The singularity is an orb comprised of a dark-colored mineral with hints of luminous colors.
So it's not the Earth. Never mind.
The singularity is estimated to be 1 meter in diameter. The orb has several unique qualities that are not well understood. The singularity typically can be found suspended in air by an unseen force. There are also a variety of readings that have been documented coming from the orb itself. Various things like magnetic fields, energy signatures, and other pattern-like signals released by the singularity. The population of these creatures is unknown. Almost all info about the singularity is hidden or confiscated by officials.
I can understand why.
Classified document about the singularity being held by.
I have a feeling whoever obtained that document is no longer with us. I have a feeling that whoever got that document got taken out.
That exists today. It's
Oh yeah, you try to gloss over all that to be like, yeah, this is not terrifying whatsoever. This is fine.
This could be the greatest discovery of the age.
What is happening? Okay, now we're in the cooking video, which I don't know how to feel about that. I haven't eaten breakfast yet today. Haven't had lunch. Don't dissuade me from eating food.
Making a dish that has recently gained a fair amount of popularity. Today's dish will be a cheesy crawl penne.
It looks like normal food. Don't ruin pasta and cheese for me. I don't like
To
this.
start off, these will be the ingredients you will need. 3 cups of penne pasta. Roughly 3 cups worth of fresh crawl. Try to get a variety of sizes when you buy yours, or when you harvest them yourself. 1 cup
No.
of cheese. Half a cup of green onion. 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of Cajun spice, 2 tablespoons of parsley, 1 tablespoon of dill, 1 tablespoon of garlic, a pinch of pepper, and finally,
That's a
the
pinch
most
to you?
crucial ingredient, Nutrier Company's newly released flavor enhancer.
To bring out the
Bring out the
richness.
richness of flavors within each and every meal.
It's a poison. It's a spore.
First, get a medium-sized pot and fill half of it with water.
You're spilling the water, bro! Oh my god, learn how to pour. There's a spout at the end of the cup for a reason. What about turning to Gordon Ramsay here and critique
Add
your
a pinch
cooking?
of salt, which is used to help the pot come to a boil faster and help flavor the pasta. Then, set aside to boil.
Why are you wearing gloves? That's my question. Why are you wearing gloves for this dish?
Grab your crawl and a sharp knife. Begin to cut the meat into a rough mince.
No, I know it's described as meat, but don't call it meat. That is... I hate this. I hate every bit of this. You don't gotta add the sounds. You don't gotta add that. I hate every bit of this. This is...
Crawl is soft on the outside, but the interior has a surprising sturdiness.
Oh no, it looks like it's being cut pretty freaking well and easily. No, no.
Then, gather the meat and set aside.
Why you gotta add the sound effects, dude? Hey, that one bit's not cut properly. You gotta slice that up. When it comes to cooking, you gotta make sure your meat is properly taken care of.
Mince the green
Giggity.
onion into rough segments.
It's all infected now. Like, you've got all the
Take
meat
this
juices. Why
mince
don't
and
you wash
set
that?
aside as well.
Like, wash that thing off,
Next,
man.
grab your skillet and preheat with along some oil.
I hate how it moves.
Take your minced crawl and spread it evenly across the skillet.
I'm kind of irritated with that one piece not being cut up
Stir
properly.
occasionally until crisp and brown. As your water reaches a boil, add your penne and stir occasionally.
Okay, now we're actually in some... Okay, this is pretty decent
until soft.
style of cooking. This is still low budget. Where
At this time,
did you
your
boil the
crawl
water
will be
on?
brown and crisp. Add your
looks like
minced
dog
green
food.
onion and then the spices.
That looks like dog food.
Mix well. Once your pasta is finished cooking, strain it.
I hate all of this so much right now.
Lay your cooked penne evenly into your dish.
Why are you wearing a mask? He's got a mask!
Then
With
add the
ventilation!
cold topping.
He's Breaking Bad up in this cooking video. Why? What fumes is the crawl giving off while you're cooking? What is wrong with this? What is
Sprinkle a
going
generous
on?
amount of cheese along the still warm crawl for it to melt. At this point, finish preparing the dish with your flavor enhancer, but allow your dish to cool to a temperature below 60
music
degrees
took a very
Celsius,
big
or else
turn.
the enhancer will not work.
I don't think the enhancer's gonna work, period!
And now, you may serve and enjoy.
There's nothing to enjoy about that. You need sauce for pasta, by the way. Who are they? Okay, that was a lot.
Many people get pets for companionship.
Yeah.
They form bonds and grow relationships
We
with these
love that.
animals, even to the point of them being considered a part of the family.
Yeah, dog moms, cat dads,
Most people
all of
get
that.
dogs or cats, but maybe you want something more interesting.
Like a lizard.
Then, you may want to get yourself a trimming.
This is white people activity right here. Because why? Why? Why would you? I know that you're looking at this going like, why'd you have to say that? Because look! Bro! It's the same with white people hearing a noise from an abandoned building and go, let's go explore that. No! No, this is not Scooby-Doo! Even Velma would be like, listen, this is too much. Like, you're adopting an actual monster. Like, get out of here.
These lumps of meat have grown a reputation to be a loving companion for many people in the recent months.
For
Although
freaking
most
who?
people may not know the proper ways to care for them.
It looks like a brain with legs that is trying to poop out something, okay?
Today, we will be showing you how you can care for your pet trimming.
No, I don't
Taking
want to
care of a
know.
trimming is fairly easy, but this is no reason to slack off. They are living things and do require maintenance.
It
The
requires
first
to
thing keep
die.
in
That's the
mind when
requirement,
keeping a
okay?
trimming is the temperature of your home.
Oh my gosh.
While trimmings are resilient to both high and low conditions, you want to keep your base temperature near room temp, maybe slightly cooler. That being said, trimmings prefer warmer areas to nest. A simple setup you may use is a box with some blankets on the inside.
No.
Make sure there is enough for your trimming to cover itself.
Put it in a cardboard box and put it outside
And now,
and let it
you
go
have
away.
a comfy bed for your buddy. Next, you want to give your trimming the best diet possible. Trimmings are not picky eaters and will eat anything you give them. To keep your trimming healthy and strong, a diet of dry cat or dog food that is high in protein, provided 2 times a day, is best. As a
Well, at least
treat,
you can get rid of
you may give your
garbage.
trimming any scraps of your food. Things like apple cores, banana peels, or eggshells are a perfect snack. A thing to remember is trimmings are nocturnal and make plenty of noise.
You're not selling it right now because that in the middle of the night would freak me the fudge out, and I'm grabbing a baseball bat.
To prevent you from having sleepless nights,
Whack!
try to give your trimmings first meal in the late morning or afternoon. This helps them be active during these times instead. Another thing to consider if you want
I have
to pet
nothing to say
trimming
on that
is
one.
where they will be living. Your home should have enough space for your trimming to roam around, as well as access to the outdoors, like a backyard. If not, be sure to take your trimmings on regular walks.
Why, so I
This
can
gives
freak
your
out the neighbor
trimming the
kids?
exercise they need, as well as allowing them to meet other trimmings.
Why, so they can plot the
Trimmings
world's
are a
destruction?
social creature and need to interact with others of their kind, like how they do in the wild.
Look me in the
When
eye
it
and
comes
see
to
if I care.
entertainment, trimmings are not the most active and aren't the best at fetch or tug of war. But here are other ways to keep your trimming entertained.
Feed them your fingers.
Some toys that trimmings like are little items they can push, around, pull, or carry. Trimmings also enjoy things that you enjoy as well, like watching the television or listening to the radio. They love
What
seeing
signal are
and
you
listening
waiting
to
for?
all the funny things coming from the devices.
What warning, what call to action are you waiting for? Who is your leader?
After a long day, your trimming might be dirty and need a wash.
What do the monoliths
To
want?
clean them, start your bath with a gentle warm water, mixed with a bit of hand or body wash. Gently scrub the trimming's feet, armpits, belly, and neck fold. Remember to be careful around their face, and avoid getting soap in their eyes, nose, and mouth. Gently pat dry with a towel when done. Now your buddy is all clean.
Don't touch its face. Don't boop the snoot, okay? It's only cute for on dogs, alright? Don't ruin that. Don't ruin that for me.
And lastly, as said before, trimmings are social creatures, so be sure to give them plenty of affection.
This is the person you don't go
They
over
love
for very
receiving
long.
pats, scratches, and pets.
This
They
is,
also love to sit with you and
No.
cuddle.
no.
Since they communicate with each other in the wild, it is best to replicate this behavior with them as well. Simply talking to them is plenty enough.
I don't
You
like
can
it.
talk about your day, if anything interesting happened at work, if you are working on any new recipes, or talk about the weather. Trimmings are very good listeners and love to be involved.
Well, good for them. I don't know. No, that's a person that,
With
like, if
all
you
of
say,
these
oh, I
in
gotta
mind,
drop something off
you
quick,
are now
you just
well-equipped to
drop
have
it on their
trimming
door and
become
run.
a part of the family.
That is not the person that you stay
Do
over
things
for,
right,
like, over an
and you will have a
hour-long visit.
companion for a long while.
Nope. Nope. What are you writing? Please show me. Okay. Can I freeze frame that? Okay, I am so close to getting that picture. Come on. Just give me the picture. Just give me the picture. I can't. I'm not fast enough! And don't no one in the comments try to tell me press this button. I'm pressing buttons. It's not working. Oh my gosh, this is so messed up. This is just... Oh, who would ever want to keep this as a pet? I can tell you right now, if ever I walked into someone's house and they had that, I'd be like, I got other crap I gotta do. And that's essentially leaving, because no, I don't want to be in that person's house. I'm done. I can't watch any more of this because this is starting to get a little... There's something in my brain that's just hitting that's like, nah, I can't watch anymore. This is a lot. But if you want to check this series out for yourself, which I highly recommend that you should, click that link in the description below to go watch the full Vita Carnis videos. It's wild. It's interesting. It's really cool. It's also a little gross, but I'm here for it. If you enjoyed this as much as I did, make sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought about this. If there are any videos you'd like to see me react to in the future, leave some suggestions down below. I take them into consideration. And if you're new around here and you've been enjoying what you're seeing, why not click that subscribe button and click that bell to get notified of the next video. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.
We'll be right back.